Welcome to Meet the Makers, our series where you get to meet the makers. In this series, we will go behind the screen of the kNOwBOX Dance Film Festival official selection. There is so much hard work and time that goes into creating each and every single film, and we want to keep these conversations going before and after the festival.
How do you think your film relates to the NBFF 2022 theme Dancing Around the World?
I mean, this film is the product of a meeting between two people from opposite ends of the planet, and then they sort of, me and the other director and visionary and performer Don Su, synthesizing our creativity to create something very unique and sort of out of culture in certain ways. And so we have a dancer in Don Su that was born and raised in China, came to Madison, Wisconsin, to attend the university there and pursue a PhD in statistics of all things. And then now resides in Berlin, Germany as a multimedia performance artist and doing things like even weirder than this film, and just living her life. So she's like a constant muse to me. And so she's like literally danced her way across the world.
So why did you make this film, Aaron? Or is there a message that you want to communicate with our audiences?
The film emerged more from the drive to create than it did the drive to convey a message. I don't typically create something with a firm semantic message in mind, although I allow the message to organically evolve through the creative process. I mostly try and follow inspiration and intuition, and then prepare myself to be like maximally sensitive to all creative possibilities throughout the recording and the assembly of the film. And so the film came about because I met this incredibly inspiring person, Don Su, and we met through another creative endeavor, and we discovered that she had limited time left in the city, but that we both were really interested in combining our creative talents and seeing what would happen.
How did Erosion come to be the title?
But titles are kind of a tricky thing. You want them to be evocative and intriguing. You don't want them to give away too much or be too descriptive or be too generic. So sometimes like two words come together, Erosion Project, and it's just like, oh, that actually captures some sort of essence of what we're trying to do here in a way that's hard to put into words, but it sort of fits. So it was kind of intuitive in that sense. But like this building, like the facade literally erodes as you wipe your hand over it. And there is like one of my favorite shots of the film is a close-up of their hand going across the stone and seeing little bits of it crumble down. And the narrative that we developed through the editing process, or actually it was before that because it really influenced the character that she created, was of this sort of being that finds itself in an alien environment and then sort of evolves in its ability to express itself and gain agency through interacting with the environment and eventually being able to impose itself on the environment through the process of eroding it. Project is a really important aspect of the title because a project is enacted by something, right? By something with an agency. And so that sort of plants the seed for thinking of Don Su's performance as that of expressing this sort of blossoming of something coming into existence and gaining agency, which eventually leads to this synthesis of dancer and space in this sort of swirling psychedelic creation.
How do you say no to the box?
One of the wonderful things about screen dance is that it's never been stuck in a box. And some of the earliest resonant examples of screen dance that I was exposed to used all sorts of filmic techniques to bring the audience into new realities and to like completely undermine our sense of space and time and cause and effect logic in really creative ways that inspired me a lot and taught me a lot about the potential of film, far beyond what I was seeing in a narrative mode of production. So in some ways, just participating in screen dance is sort of jumping outside of the box, and it's one of the reasons why I gravitate toward it. is because I find it to be very liberating, and for there to be so much possibility in terms of how I can contribute. And so we tossed the box from the get-go. There wasn't even a conversation with the box. And we'd like to think that the results are somewhat free of the box's influence. We really wanted to create a medium-specific experience that was drawing from the unique expressive capacities of dance and cinema, and creating a model of reality that like aligns with the way that we normally experience things was just never a priority for us. So that was very freeing. And that, I mean, that feels like a box falling out around us and just like seeing this wide open landscape of possibility. In terms of like the dancing, Dansu's dance was narratively motivated more so than it was trying to adhere to any sort of tradition or technique that was directly conveyed to her through her academic pursuits, right? It was something that was very individual to them, and yeah, and so that's how I think that we've sort of transcended the box, and I'm very, very thankful that that you value that.